What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. This is Johan Bester, your vocal coach from Johannesburg, South Africa, and thank you for joining me for this very important lesson in how to maximize your vocal ability. Now, I'm going to talk about something that most vocal coaches that I've researched do not talk about a lot, but something that I've found super helpful in my studio over the last 30 years. But first, let me ask a question. What is it that makes any sound that you make with your voice? What is it that makes that sound recognizable? What is it that makes a l sound like a l, and a e sound like a e, and a g sound like a g? What are the two main determining factors? Maybe you know this already, but maybe you've never thought about it. Most people haven't. The answer is tongue position and the shape of your mouth / opening jaw position. So what this does and what this does determines every sound that you make. Your tongue is crucial because it has a specific place in your mouth for every sound that you make. So what I do in my vocal coaching is my singers and I do a lot of work on single sounds. Right, so we do things on a single sound. And we're all familiar with doing things on vowels, like ya or ye or whatever. Most vocal coaches do, all vocal coaches, I think, do work on vowels. But not many do work on single consonants, right? And there are two types of consonants. The one type of consonant is called unvoiced or voiceless. Some Americans I've heard call it voiceless. Unvoiced consonants, that means it has no sound, no pitch, like s. You can't sing a song on s, right? Because it has no pitch. And then voiced consonants that has a pitch. In other words, my vocal folds are engaged, like z, or l, or m, or d. Okay? So obviously you cannot do exercises. You can't sing a melody or whatever on an unvoiced consonant. That's pointless. Okay, so today I want to talk about resonance. Because if your setup here is exactly as it should be, is optimal, is set up to maximize the resonance, then you're going to get a good quality sound. Because a good quality sound is a resonant sound. Okay? So the more overtones, now that's a topic for a whole nother discussion, but the more of the overtones are present in any sound I make, the more resonant my sound becomes. You can think about it in terms of pianos, right? We've all seen acoustic pianos. Most people in their homes might have what we call an upright piano. So the keyboard is here, and then the sound box is in front of you. And then often in concert halls or in different kinds of halls and in some people's homes, you find a grand piano where the keyboard is here and the sound case is flat, lies flat. Now, which of those two generally have the better quality sound? Let's say you compare a Yamaha upright and a Yamaha grand piano. Which has the better quality sound? The grand piano. Main reason? A bigger sound box, if you will. A larger space for the sound to resonate. That's why it has a better quality sound. Right? And an electric piano, like the one that I'm using, has to artificially create a resonant sound. This sound could never be as beautifully naturally resonant as on an acoustic piano where a hammer hits a string, etc. Okay? But resonance is very important. I want my singers and myself as a singer, I want to know exactly what does my best oo feel like? What does my best l feel like? My best every sound. all the vowel sounds, foundational vowel sounds, and combinations of vowels, and all the consonants that turn up in my words. When I sing, when I am down and oh my soul, every w, e, n, a, hi, a, m, d, a, u, n. So many different sounds when I am down in those 4 words. It's not just 4 things that happen. It is like 9 things, right? So I want to know what each one of those sounds feel like physiologically. Like, what does it feel like when it's at its best, when it's optimal, when it's my best oo, my best ah, my best v, my best w, my best everything. That's why with my singers, we do single sounds. Because then when a oo or ah or a or whatever turn up in a word, my setup here is so habitually set up correctly that it's always, almost always, the best sound that it can be. And that makes my communication more effective. That means when I sing to an audience or into a microphone or in the studio, I'm going to reach people. They're going to feel it because my sound is the best quality that I can make. Does that make sense? Okay, so the main topic of this video is the nasal consonants. These are some of the most important single sounds that I use in my vocal coaching technique. And there are 3 sounds in English and in my home language, Afrikaans. Only 3 sounds where the breath flows through your nose when you make that sound. That's why we call it a nasal sound or a nasal consonant. Okay, and I'm sure you can guess one of them at least very quickly, and that is a as in mother. Your lips are together and the breath comes through your nose. If you want to check if I'm lying or not, then do a sustained and block your nose like this. And the sound stops, right? Because I'm blocking the passage through which the air flows. All right, so is easy. We often hum. Many people hum, like hum songs, hum to babies as we put them to sleep, etc. But the other 2 are not as simple to guess. The second one is a n, as in no thank you. And now you might look at me and go, hey, your mouth is open. Yeah, but do the nose close test. Okay, so the shape changed so that n can sound like n, but it's still nasal. And the last one is the hardest for most people to guess, but that is the ng sound, as in sing, the English spelling ng. So whether I go or all 3 of those sounds have breath coming through the nasal cavity instead of through my mouth. Okay? So here are the 2 questions. Where's your tongue? And what is your shape for each one of those sounds? I often ask my singers in the middle of a line when they struggle with something in a song, I go, okay, let's stop. Which word is it that is troublesome? Oh, that word. Okay, let's work out why. And then I ask, where's your tongue? Or what is your shape? And usually fixing the shape, so making the shape optimal for that sound and putting their tongue in the right place for that sound fixes their problem. Next time they sing that line in the song, their muscles here do the right thing and everything works out beautifully. All right, so where's your tongue and what is your shape for a for mother? Obviously your shape is closed mouth, but where's your tongue? So I classify the tongue position very roughly as high tongue, floating or middle tongue, or low tongue. If you try it, you'll feel that it's a pretty low tongue. That's what makes a sound like a If I put my tongue in a different place like this, it's almost a n because I put my tongue in the n tongue position, yet my lips were closed, right? So what my lips are doing the shape of my mouth and where my tongue is determines that I can identify the sound as right. So low tongue, closed lips. What about the So slightly open, yeah, so that my tongue can have this trajectory. The tip of my tongue is behind my upper teeth. That's what makes a sound like a And then the last one, the NG English spelling, is pretty strange because we don't often sing that sound sustained. So do a and tell me what you feel. Don't tell me because I can't hear you. But think about it, okay? So you can even see, if you watch closely in my mouth position, my mouth is open, so my jaw is released even more than the and my tongue is sort of doing this, if this is the front of my mouth. Sort of bulging in the back and then sort of downwards. Now I can do a with a different tongue position, but that's not going to be my best Okay, so that's a cool exercise to go through. Just pick a pitch that's comfortable and take a good breath so you can do them in succession without taking a breath in between. You can feel the change. But they are all nasal sounds. All right, so I devised a little melody to sing these nasal consonants on. Low pitch, low stress. This is not about range. This is not about making a beautiful sound that's going to make people cry. It's about feeling where the sound resonates every time my tongue position changes and my shape changes. So my melody is this. So when I sing it sounds like this. Then I do the So I'm doing it slowly, and I'm very aware of my shape change, my tongue position change, and I'm very aware of how it feels different in this space. Because remember, this is our main resonating space. The sound resonates, so gets its quality, its energy from mainly this space and also spaces in our head, right? Like the nasal cavities, etc. So I'm very aware of what does it feel like when it changes from the to the to the So why don't you do that with me? Come on, it'll be fun. Ready? Now slightly open. Feel the change. One more time. So, I mean, you can sing any melody. You can just go, or you can go, I mean, you can do whatever you like. But I just made a simple melody that only covers a fifth in the scale, 5 steps. So it's not a big range. I start low and I go a little bit higher in my speaking range. I don't go super high, so I don't cross over that barrier into that head resonant sound, because this is not about that. This is only about feeling how the shape change and the tongue position change makes each one of those sounds feel different physically. Yeah. feels different because it resonates in a different place. So that is an exercise, and I have others that are similar to that we do on nasal consonants, which is one of the best things to do when you start your vocal routine. Especially early in the day, if you haven't spoken a lot, so you haven't used your voice a lot, and you want to practice a song, don't just go straight into the song because your muscles have not been properly activated, right? So then I start with these nasals. Why? 2 reasons. They are very gentle on the vocal folds. Main reason, because these holes are small, that the breath flows through, you almost cannot push too much breath. I mean, you have to be really stupidly intentional to do that, and then it hurts. As your vocal folds come together to make the sound, it's not like which has a big hole, low tongue, wide open mouth, where people can often push way more air through than they should and than they have to. So because of the small holes, as my vocal folds connect, just very little breath, instinctively, you don't have to think about it. You will instinctively use less breath when you sing a and a and a. So it's a very gentle way to just increase the blood flow to this area where the sound is produced and just give it a little stretch, and also make you listen, make you think, make you concentrate. So it's a beautiful, beautiful way to start any vocal routine. Yep, so that's all I wanted to cover in this little video. I just wanted to give you something small to focus on. I've made videos in the past that are like 30-minute videos, basically like singing lessons, but it had a lot of information in it, and I think it's just too much information for a lot of people. So check out my previous video that I made on this same channel about do this one thing. People often ask me, if I could do only one thing, Johan, if you could tell me only one thing that'll improve my capacity as a singer, what is it? And I did that video on slides, glissandi. You should check it out. I'll put it on the end screen and a link below the video. Go and check it out. It's a video that's focused on just one thing, one aspect, one thing that if you focus on it and do it correctly, it will, after 33 years of experience, I'm telling you, change things for you. It will improve things for you. Listen to the way I explain it. Listen to what happens physiologically if you're not aware, so that you know how to do it correctly. Practice doesn't make perfect. The right practice causes improvement. So listen to the explanations, sing along to the video, and then work out your own way to do it. And then this little topical video about just singing on the nasal consonants, singing on single sounds, little bit of breath, no pressure on the vocal folds, low and middle range, aware of the tongue position and the shape changes, aware of how the resonance changes. So thank you for joining me for this little video. I hope it's helpful. I would so appreciate it if you tried it and you left a comment and you let us know, not just me, everybody else. Let us know what worked for you. What is your experience singing single sounds, singing nasal consonants? Have you never tried it? Now you did and you felt something. Let us know. Let's create a community around this vocal coaching videos on this channel, where we can learn from each other, where we can encourage one another, and so on. So thanks again, and until next time, you have to remember that your voice matters.